you? Who's tying you?
Chase's.
Chase's. Okay. All right. Very good. And Chase and Adam, you guys have shared your slideshows with me.
Yep.
Well done. All right. Cora. You're ready.
Okay. Imagine you're at the age of 6 to 8. You know what feeling sick is like. You understand that your body is acting up, but you don't understand why. You're always thirsty, always hungry, always tired, rapidly losing weight, and just looking so pale and sick. Your parents get worried about you, so they take you to the doctor. The doctors come in, and they tell you that you have type 1 diabetes. Your mom starts crying, you're confused, you're scared. Your mom takes you home, you pack up your things, and you go straight to the hospital. Now you're crying, because you're so confused. Now, that's the reality of finding out you have type 1 diabetes. Now, this reality is not made up because it is my reality. But depending on your age and when you find out you had type 1 diabetes, that reality will be different. But the pain, discomfort, and scaredness will be near to the same. Now, as most of you don't know what type 1 diabetes is, so I'll be introducing you what diabetes is, the background of it, how it can affect you, and then my story with diabetes. Diabetes was first recorded in the form diabetes in a medical text written around 1425. According to News Medical Life Science in their 2024 article, History of Diabetes, the term diabetes is a shortened version of the full name diabetes mellitus. Diabetes mellitus is derived from the Greek word diabetes, meaning siphon, to pass through the Latin word mellitus, meaning honeyed or sweet. This is because diabetes excess sugar is found in blood as well in the urine. Insulin is a medicine that your pancreas produces anytime you intake glucose, and that is in your blood. Now, in 1921, insulin was discovered by Frederick Banting. This is Frederick Banting, and right here are some bottles of insulin as well, as I brought my own insulin. Now, what is diabetes? Now, when many people mention diabetes, they go straight into thinking eating too much sugar. Well, yes, but no. Type 2 diabetes is a condition in which your body regulates and properly uses sugar as fuel. Though, the diabetes I am referring to is type 1 diabetes. To start, type 1 diabetes is an autoimmune disease, meaning that it is not contagious. To start, according to Mayo Clinic in their 2024 article, Type 1 Diabetes, different factors such as genetics, some viruses may cause type 1 diabetes. Although type 1 diabetes usually appears during childhood, adolescence, and it can develop in adults. There is an organ in your body called a pancreas. It produces insulin, which is a type of medicine that your body produces. With that insulin, it regulates the glucose, sugar, in your blood and helps control your energy. Diabetics do not have a pancreas. That is why we use devices such as Omnipods and shots to give us insulin. So here, this is an Omnipod, just big thing of plastic that we have to wear on our body, and it inserts a plastic syringe, and I personally wear this. There are different forms of Omnipods, but this is what I wear. And there's a plastic syringe that stays in your body that gives you the insulin. And you change it every 3 days. Now, depending on the diabetic, the doctors make sure that you give yourself shots, because sometimes those don't always work on some people, like you're allergic to the adhesive and you get really bad rashes. So, while we use insulin to control non-diabetics' blood sugar. People without diabetes, their body controls their own blood sugar. With diabetics, they have to control their own blood sugar. A normal blood sugar of a non-diabetic is 61 to 100, so that's for you guys. And for a diabetic, it's 70 to 150. Now, if a diabetic goes below 70, most symptoms are the same. You feel nauseous, tired, shaky, weak. And when you go high, you get hyper, sometimes get really mean, and just really have ADHD. Now, to control your blood sugar, we use devices such as a Dexcom and a finger poker to check our blood sugar. Now, I did not bring a Dexcom, but this is what you use to draw your blood, or poke your blood, poke your finger. Now, diabetes does not have a cure yet, though scientists are introducing the idea of a bionic pancreas. Now, that's not necessarily a good idea because research has found, though, that when you do pancreas transplant, you have to go on lifetime anti-rejection medicine so that your body doesn't fight off the new organ in your body, which causes your immune system to work harder and causes your body to function. Your body functions weaker. Now, when you first go into the hospital to have diabetes, there are many steps into your diabetes. When you first have diabetes, you meet with many doctors on how to do many different things. First, you learn how to give shots. You learn how to poke your own finger. This is just with your normal nurse, your nurse practitioner. Then you meet with your dietitian to figure out a meal plan. Because when you are first diagnosed with diabetes, you can't eat whenever you want, whatever you want. You have to eat a certain amount of carbs for breakfast, a snack, a certain amount of carbs for lunch, a snack, and then a certain amount of carbs for dinner. You also have to figure out your insulin to carb ratio. So basically you give so many units of insulin for every carb you eat. So for example, if I want to eat a sandwich with my insulin to carb ratio, I would have to give around 3 units of insulin for one sandwich because my insulin to carb ratio is 1 unit of insulin for every 6 carbs. So, to go into my life, as I said earlier, I was diagnosed when I was 7 years old on April 14th in 2015. Managing diabetes, honestly, being at a young age, it was pretty easy to adapt, and now I feel like I regulate it pretty well. Now, diabetes does take over your life severely. There's no joke about that. But to think about it, you can't just go out to eat whenever you want, or you can, but you have to make sure your blood sugar's under control. You properly take care of your insulin. So you can't just go and play a sports game. You have to make sure your blood sugar is good. You have to make sure it's not too high or not too low. Now, and if you don't manage yourself properly, not taking care of yourself can cause life-changing things to your body. According to Health Partners in their 2024 article, How Untreated Diabetes Creates Health Complications. When blood sugar levels becomes too high, it's called hyperglycemia. Having hyperglycemia for long periods of time can damage veins, arteries, and other things, known as the collective as blood vessels, that supply all parts of your body with blood. This dysfunctional blood vessel puts you at risk for developing many different health problems. So that's why you want to take care of your blood sugar as much as you can, because it can also give you effects of kidney failure, blindness, and hearing failure. So, in conclusion, when you see a person with the symptoms of tiredness, always hungry, always thirsty, and losing rapid weight, make sure to send them to the doctor. Not treating diabetes can take a turn for the worst, and no one wants that to happen to someone they love. Diabetes is scary. I would know. I've cried countless times and have been hurt and struggled with the fact why this happened to me and why did this happen to me at a young age. But diabetes is a big part of my story, so being able to share what type 1 diabetes is, it is important to me. Well, yes, it may not be as meaningful to you guys, but there's so much you can take in with these facts. So please take care of you and your loved ones, because you never know what can change in your life.